Democrats recently introduced legislation that proposes expanding the Supreme Court from 9 to 13 seats, a move Republicans call court packing. Here to unpack what it all means is Alain Sanders, Professor Emeritus of Political Science at St. Peter's University. So, Alain, the number of justices on the High Court changed several times until 1869, when the number was set to 9 and has stayed that way. So, how realistic is this proposal?
Not very. It's really a proposal to highlight the fact that the Democrats are upset that the Republicans, in their view, have packed the court with conservatives for decades, really going back to Ronald Reagan. So really, it's a mechanism to really start the conversation about the Supreme Court, its role, and whether there should be changes in the way justices are picked or how long they serve on the court. It's just a mechanism to get the conversation going, I think.
All right, what's interesting is that President Biden has changed his position on a possible expansion over the years. Back in 1983, then Senator Biden called FDR's packing proposal a bonehead idea. But during the presidential debate last September, he wouldn't answer whether he'd support it. Let's listen.
It was totally within his right to do that. He violated no law. He was legalistically absolutely correct. But it was a bonehead idea.
Senator, I'm not going to answer the question.
Why
because
would you answer that
because
question?
the question is
radical left.
Will you shut up, man?
Listen, who is on your list, Joe?
He later said he was not a fan, then went on to clarify that he would create a commission because it was getting out of whack, which he has done. So where do you think Biden stands?
Well, I think Biden is well aware that the Supreme Court, as a third branch of government, can undo many of his proposals. And because of that, he's open to thinking about what can be done to amend, to restructure the Supreme Court. He's not a radical. He doesn't want to redo the Supreme Court. 9 justices is already quite a number. Remember, it's very hard to get them, even when you get 5 justices, it's very hard for them to agree on an actual majority opinion. So if you expand the court to 13, you might have just a bigger mess in which you have 13 different opinions. And that's not a recipe for a good, solid legal set of precedents. So Biden is well aware that change has to occur, but I think he's willing to think it through. It's not at the top of his agenda. The commission that he has created will issue a report sometime in October. So there'll be lots of time to think this through and to figure out what makes the most sense.
Do you think the point of the commission was to just kind of head off any pressure from the left that he might be feeling?
Certainly, that's part of the mission, to head off some of the pressure from the left of the party, who's quite adamant that the Supreme Court has to move towards the middle instead of being a solidly conservative court. But I think more broadly than that, there's great concern among the scholarly community and the court-watching community that the court needs reform. It's kind of crazy that justices can get to serve an average of 26 years now in recent years, and some of them go over that. Justice Thomas, for instance, is now almost 30 years on the Supreme Court bench. That's a long time, and many people believe that a turnover would modernize the court and get it to be more receptive to current political issues and current political trends.
So they are looking at that, this commission, right? Is it 18 years they're looking at? Why do you think that would be better?
Well, the scholarly consensus among many scholars is to create a fixed term of 18 years for Supreme Court justices. The reason for that is it's a long time. It would allow them to develop their judicial philosophy, but also it would allow each president gets to serve 4 years. It would allow each president to nominate 2 justices. So what this would do is, over time, it would allow both Democrats and Republicans, depending on who won the presidential election, to put 2 justices on the court. And so, broadly speaking, it would allow the court to move with the political trends of the country. We'll see whether the commission agrees with that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Alain Sanders, Professor Emeritus of Political Science at St. Peter's University. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
If you're watching Currents News on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button and click on the bell to get updates to all of our newest content, because we are putting your faith in the news.